Hello, and welcome back to the studio. I'm Dr. Wigo, and today we are finally going to get to my review of the Apple Vision Pro that I've been promising for weeks now, but I'm actually going to do it today. Now let me save you a lot of time. Back in my original video, which I will link up here, when it was announced, I said that I thought spatial computing could be the next big, huge advance on a par with the original Macintosh back from 1984, which I bought at the very beginning and used for many, many years. And I said, this could be a fundamental shift in computing like that. Do I still believe that? Yes and no. I still think that the concept that spatial computing and AR and all the stuff that's going on here is going to be a fundamental shift in computing. This is not the device that's going to bring it to fruition. This is the first steps. And by the way, we'll get into the review. I think it's a great first step, but it's only a first step. This is not a polished, finished product. This is a beta, gamma, I don't know. It's still in testing as far as I'm concerned. Now, doesn't mean I don't like it. Should you buy one? Probably not. Am I sorry I bought one? No. I'm quite happy with it for the reasons I will explain. So let's get into it. Again, you can watch my original thoughts when it was announced, and then I have a whole bunch of videos, which I will link down below, where all the different things I've tried and the AR stuff and gaming and all that kind of thing. And again, I was mostly underwhelmed. The first time you put this on, it's amazing. And then as you do more and more stuff with it, it becomes kind of underwhelming. But I still like it. Well, let me get into it. Let's talk about the technology. And I think Marques Brownlee hit the nail on the head. I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember his exact words, but it was something along the lines of tomorrow's vision with today's technology. And that's the problem. The technology is not quite there yet. I mean, this is a massive leap forward. I will link a Vanity Fair article down below, which was kind of a profile of Tim Cook, and it talked about the Vision Pro, and it talked about how when he first saw this in prototype, he was like in a big chair, and then there were multiple monitors, and I mean, it was nothing like this. And he saw the potential. I see the potential. This does not realize that potential. Now, that's not to say the technology is not amazing. I mean, the number of sensors that they've squeezed in here, they've got, you basically have an M2 Mac Pro strapped to your face. But with this R1 chip, which processes all the things, the latency is amazing. I mean, it's like just a couple of milliseconds, 5 maybe, 7, I'm not even sure. But it's good enough you can catch things that people throw at you. I mean, it's fantastic. The processing power built in right here. There's like these two amazing chips right here, side by side. And then they designed, to pull the air through, and they have fans, and it blows out the top, and it cools it. It's like I said, it's a MacBook Pro strapped to your face. Whereas like the Quest 3 is a Android phone strapped to your face. This is way more powerful, way more amazing. But not quite there yet. The displays, these little guys, most amazing, sharpest, highest resolution I have ever experienced. You can't see any pixels. In every other VR headset I have ever tried, you can see the pixels. But in this one, there are no pixels because there's like millions in each eye, and they're right up against your eyes, and you just can't see them. And they're amazing. I mean, and they have the lenses that you can pop in. I mean, I'm kind of in awe of the technology, but again, not quite there. Now, not the displays. The displays are there. It's these cameras. It's got all these cameras in it for what they call in VR terms, the pass-through, where you see what's out there, but you're seeing it through a camera. And I've worked with cameras enough here that I know that cameras do not reproduce reality. They get close with big sensors, but these don't have big sensors because look, where would you put the big sensor? So they're very bad in low light. Well, I don't know about you, but I like to do stuff in low light. I like to watch movies kind of in the dark. Well, this isn't so good at that, especially if you're trying to do like the AR stuff where you're trying to deal with the pass-through. And in fact, that's why the thing I love, the reason I love this, and the reason I would not return it, and the reason I would buy it again, is like I said back in my original video, 3D. The experience of 3D and immersion in this thing is just phenomenal. It's like you're there. It's like it's like it's real. Unlike the pass-through, that does not look real. That looks like you're looking through a camera lens. They got it partway there. I'm really happy with the 3D. In fact, I can tell you, if you go watch all my videos, every week, less and less, I use it. But what I continue to use it for every week is watching 3D movies. I love 3D movies. There are hundreds and hundreds available. Disney Plus has a huge selection. On Apple TV Plus app, you can buy movies, and they have a whole lot, including like the old ones from the 50s, like Dial M for Murder. They've got all sorts of 3D content that you can buy, and I've been buying it. So as a 3D consumption device, this is the best I've ever seen. It's phenomenal. I love it. I will use it for the rest of my life. All that other stuff, the AR, the thing, the technology is not there yet. Just like Mark has said, it's tomorrow's vision with today's technology. Now, the one place where they stepped past today's technology, I really believe, was in the displays, because these are phenomenal. And it's got some tricks, you know, they put some tricks in the technology, like, you know, the connect to your Mac and you get a big Mac screen. But, it's all right. But it's not terribly usable. The other part of the technology that they really nailed was, I don't know how they did it, but these little speakers that sit above your ear and fire spatial audio into your ears, it's just amazing. Now, I believe I mentioned in some of my prior videos, I can't turn it up quite loud enough. I want to go up like 2 or 3 more notches on the volume. I like loud movie soundtracks. And of course, you don't really have the subwoofer, so the bass isn't quite as amazing as it is through my speaker system. Watching movies is like the perfect thing to do with this, because you have the 3D as big as you want, filling your entire field of vision. You've got this fantastic spatial audio, so the sounds come from all around you. I love watching movies on this thing, and I will continue to do that for as long as I own it. And if it ever breaks, I'm going to buy another one. So the technology is a win and kind of a eh. A lot of the technology, the displays, the speakers, the R1 processor, amazing. But the sensors, the cameras, not as much. Now, it's going to get better. Technology is going to continue to march forward, and it will get much, much better. I'm really looking forward to the next iteration of the Pro. Not the Vision. They're going to come out with a cheaper one that uses these technologies, which again are not quite there yet. But I think the next Vision Pro 2, of course, you know, it's Apple. It's just going to be Vision Pro again. The upgrade where they have better cameras, better low light, all that kind of stuff. I'm really, really looking forward to that. And I think from all the rumors we're hearing, that's at least 2025, if not 2026. But again, I'm good with this for another couple of years. I mean, I can watch 3D movies on this for a year or two, no problem. I would like to do some of that other stuff, the AR stuff and the productivity stuff and all that, but it's just not there for me yet. This does not work for me for that. Now, let's get into the elephant in the room. If you've watched any of the reviews, the comfort, the design. Oh, they blew this so bad. And I understand that band, which I didn't even bring up here because I've never used it since like the first day. You know, the band with the knob that you turn and tightens up and everything, completely uncomfortable, unusable for me. I can't stand it. I can't wear it for more than like half an hour, and even then I'm already complaining. Now this dual loop band does just fine. I can sit in here for the length of a movie, like 2.5 hours, no problem. Because this part takes the weight, pulls the weight up off of here. With the regular band, you look like you've had something sucking on your face. It's all red around here. With this band, not so much. Now, another part of that design is this guy, the light seal interface and the cushion. First, they're magnetic, which is great for switching them out, but it's horrible if you pick it up by them because they just come loose and you drop the thing. I think in one of my videos that I'll link down below, I actually dropped it because I picked it up by this part instead of by the metal part. I still have a problem with this anyway, besides all that. If you go back and watch my unboxing, I actually unboxed two of them because I got one with a large light seal and one with a medium. And I kept the medium. With the medium, it's constantly telling me your eyes are too close to the displays. So this is not keeping the displays far enough from my eyes when it's on here. So it says, and you go and it says, well, put on the thicker cushion. So I put on the thicker cushion. Guess what message I get now? Your eyes are too far from the displays. I apparently have a facial shape structure such that with the thinner cushion, it's too close, but with the thicker cushion, it's too far. And I've seen a couple of other videos. I think Apple Insider, I think he has the same problem. And he went to the Apple store and went through, like, spent an hour fitting, trying different things. And when he was done, he had the same problem. It was either too close or too far away. By the way, you can still use it. It's just you get this annoying dialog box that there's no way to turn off. They can fix that with software. Which is the other thing? The software. Vision OS 1.1 is a big improvement. They fixed a lot of the little things. They fixed a lot of bugs, made things better, made the personas look better. It was a huge improvement, but not enough. If you follow Apple, you know that coming up in June is the Worldwide Developers Conference, and you know they'll be dropping like the first hints of Vision OS 2.0. And a lot of the things that are wrong with this can be fixed in software. Not the cameras and the low light and all that, although some of that might even be able to be addressed in software. You can actually, do some video processing and stuff. I'm hopeful for Vision OS 2.0. Now, that won't come out in June. That will be when they first start talking about it. They'll seed it to the developers. The developers will test it. So later this year, we will get Vision OS 2.0. And hopefully that'll fix some more of the things I dislike about it. Not the weight. It's heavy. Not this problem. Not the seal. They're going to move in the right direction. They do not want this to fail. Tim Cook wants this to be a success. I want it to be a success. This one is not going to be a success. They've sold a lot of them. Not as many as they sold of these guys, but by the way, when this first came out, the 128K Mac, it didn't have enough memory. It only had a floppy disk. You didn't have a hard drive. Programs were slow to load. It was really slow, but you could see where it was going. Today, go buy a MacBook Pro M3, and you can see where it's gone, and it's gone amazing places. Well, this is going to go on that same journey. But by the way, that M3 MacBook Pro is 40 years later. I don't think we're going to have to wait 40 years for this, but we're probably going to have to wait 2, 3 for the next version. And then probably 5 to 10 years, this could become a mainstream device and change the way we do computing, because it really is amazing when it works. It just doesn't work that often. It works most of the time, some of the time. Depends on what you're doing. Again, 3D movies works out of the box. The immersion things, and that's the other thing. Still kind of tying into software. There haven't been a lot of immersive releases. They dropped a bunch when it came out, but like there's been one immersive video, and it was a short one that's come out since then. And Disney Plus has added a few movies, and Apple TV Plus has added a few 3D movies. We're not seeing the outpouring of software, of cool things to make this worth the money. But it's going to come. And again, WWDC, when they see the developers with the Vision OS 2.0 and they start working on apps and things, it's going to get better. Like 400 apps have come out for this since the launch. There were like 600 at launch, and now there's over 1,000. So it's coming, but it's coming slowly. These are not easy apps to develop. They're not easy apps to debug. They're having to overcome the shortcomings of the hardware to make things work. It's a ways off. When everyone has one of these, they will be lighter, more comfortable, easier to put on and off. So they've got their work cut out for them to make this into a mainstream product. I would not have thought this was possible until I got my hands on one and put it on and went, oh, this is it. But it's not it. It's the first step towards it. I want the Apple Vision Pro 2. And I think what I really want is the Apple Vision Pro 3, which will probably be like 2027, 2028. I had read back when Apple announced that Monarch series about the Godzilla King Kong thing, that they were shooting that in 3D. Well, it hadn't come out in 3D. So I'm hoping that Apple and Apple TV Plus will start producing 3D content. Now, I understand why they're not doing it right now, because there aren't that many of these around. If they're going to do a cheaper one, an Apple Vision, and if they're going to do an Apple Vision Pro 2, if they're going to, sales are going to increase, we need content. And right now, with this particular version, the best thing Apple could do was just start flooding us with 3D and immersive content. Should you buy one? Only if you love 3D movies as much as I do, and you really have to love them because, again, it's $3,500. You have to watch a lot of movies to amortize the cost of $3,500 over. I've watched probably 30 since I got it, but I still have another couple of hundred to go. So I'm getting my money's worth, but I'm not sure anyone else will get their money's worth. This doesn't mean that when Vision OS 2.0 comes out, maybe other things will improve and it'll make it a better value proposition. Or they might drop the price. I wouldn't count on that. It's Apple. So my advice is if you don't have one, don't get one. Unless you're a 3D movie fanatic, like I am. Keep watching this space, because as soon as they've got any kind of announcements about the next version, about Vision OS 2, about the regular, a cheaper version, just the Apple Vision, or Vision Pro 2, I'll report it here. But right now, my review is this is a don't buy unless you love 3D. Now, if you really love 3D, I think it was worth it to me. But of course, I have money to burn. Most of you probably don't. So I would recommend waiting. By the way, go to the Apple Store and try it. You'll see what I mean. You'll go, yeah, well, this is really great. But if you do a couple of demos, you'll go, well, I've kind of seen everything it can do. That's kind of it for me. But you really ought to experience it. And you ought to see if it fits. Oh, if you're thinking about buying one, absolutely go to the Apple Store and get fitted and make sure it'll fit. Because that has been one of my biggest headaches. Literally, it just hurts. It hurts a lot. Especially with that single band. That's my review of the Apple Vision Pro. A fantastic product, a great leap forward, and a stepping stone towards a new way of computing, but it's not there yet. It's the 128K Mac of spatial computing. And what we need is we need to get to at least like the Macs that had like more memory and hard drives, but you need some way to share. They need to work with YouTube so that maybe YouTube can do spatial videos so you can put this on and go to YouTube and watch 3D and stuff. Anywhere that Apple can get people to give you 3D videos makes this a more valuable device, because to me, it's only worth it for the 3D videos. So if you can get 3D videos on YouTube working on this thing, I'm there. I would love that. I will post 3D videos when YouTube gets around to that. For the 5 of you who have one of these, You can still watch them in 2D. So that's my take on the Apple Vision Pro. Not a recommendation unless you're a 3D lover. If you're a 3D lover, I can recommend it and have $3,500 to burn, which you probably don't. Then it's worth it. But for all those other things that it's promising, it's still basically just a promise. You can see how it's going to happen, but it's really not happening yet. I'm a little disappointed, although I'm also very impressed. The technology is amazing. It's just not quite enough. Like Mark has said, it's tomorrow's vision with today's technology. I want tomorrow's vision with tomorrow's technology. It doesn't have to get a lot better. Just better low light performance, better camera performance, bigger sensors. I don't know what it all needs. That's for Apple to figure out. That's why they pay all those engineers all that money. This could be the next huge leap forward in computing. I really believe that. I really do. But this isn't there. This is the first step towards that. And I'm really looking forward to where they're going to go with this. But it's going to be a long haul. It's not happening this year. Well, Vision OS 2.0 is probably happening this year. And that'll be a big improvement probably. But the real improvements are going to come with better hardware and redesigned hardware, which will be 2025, 2026, maybe even 2027. I have high hopes. I want a better version of this. I mean, this one's fine for now for 3D movies, but I want to do all that other stuff that I've shown you in my videos that it's not fun. It's not working for me. It doesn't do it for me. Only the 3D videos do it for me. So that's my take on the Apple Vision Pro. Worth it for 3D movies and immersion and all that other stuff, but really not worth it for all the other things, but they will get there. Finally did my review. Hope it helps you. So thanks for stopping by. See you next time. Bye-bye. Thanks for staying to the end. Bye-bye.